What if I told you that there was a simple and fast way to change how often you procrastinate? That you could change it in a few seconds, and then after that, you would procrastinate even 20% less? It sounds woo woo idealism, but there is something like that, and it's called environment. Environment affects how much you procrastinate, and environment is the space around you. So, both physically and digitally, the space around you determines how much you procrastinate. We can probably just both agree on that right now. So, if there's a burger in front of you, you're probably going to think about the burger, right? If your phone is in front of you, you're probably going to be thinking about your phone. Just in front of you, what's directly in front of your eyes determines what you think about. And so, a big example I can give you of this is that a few years ago, whenever I used to still play video games a lot, my room was arranged differently than it is now. I used to have a big TV hanging up on the wall. I used to have the big video game console sitting right there, and I would have had controllers scattered all over the room. And then also in the corner of my room, I had a computer desk with like a big tower with like all the PC specs in there. So no matter where I looked with my eyes, I would always be reminded about video games. I would always see opportunities to play video games. And so I took the opportunities, right? I saw an opportunity with my eyes and I took it. That's why I honestly think I played video games so much. I saw it everywhere and so I did it. And I can give you an example with digital environment where just actually this is pretty recent where because I'm working on my computer more often, I'm recording this on a desk and my monitor is right here. And so I'm using it more often, especially with my microphone. I have to connect it into the PC. And so I honestly get sidetracked a lot because I'm, working on something, doing it, and then randomly a little thought in the back of my head pops up. Oh yeah, what about X or how does Y work? And so I search it up, probably find like some Reddit like post, and then I start scrolling on Reddit for like 20, 30 minutes up to an hour. And I get sidetracked because I think that I just need to train myself more to get used to being on a computer. I really don't spend too much time on a computer, and so now that I'm using it more often, I just have to get used to having the opportunity to always click on a new tab. I think that's just me having to get used to it. And I can give you some really simple tips on ways that you can influence the environment right now that would make it so that you procrastinate so much less often. So let's start with physical environment. What things around you do you have physically right now that could be a distraction for you? Just honestly, I want you to pause this video and look around. There's at least 2 or 3 things that you can immediately find. For me, honestly, like my phone, I'm recording this on my phone. That's an obvious one. My computer's open right here, and I have a couple of books out right there sitting behind the camera. I know like books don't really count as a distraction, but for me, if I'm really interested in a book, I might honestly forego responsibility just to, just read the book a little bit, and then a few hours passes by. These little things that are in your environment right now affect you more than you think. Because me having my computer open makes it so much so that I actually have a chance to procrastinate. I'm probably not going to. I'm recording a video right now, but there's still that little chance, that little 1% chance in the back of your head that there's always the possibility. And the easiest way I found to change the physical environment is to genuinely get it out of your sight. Out of sight, out of mind. If you can, for example, put your phone into your desk, because I have a expanding thing here, it like opens up the desk. If I can put my phone in there, then I don't even think about my phone because it's just out of my mind. I don't see it, and so it's out of my mind. Whenever I'm not using my computer, I turn it off. So even if I do see it, I can't use it. Even if I have like an impulse to go ahead and try to search something up, I can't. If you can get it so that it's out of sight, out of mind, that phrase is such a great phrase for environment. If you can get it out of your sight, then it's out of your mind. You don't even think about it. Digital environments are actually much harder to change. They're simpler to change, but it's harder to actually think of ways that you can change it. So the basic example I can give you is your phone. Does your phone pop up with notifications every few minutes? Honestly, does it? Yes or no? And you'd be surprised at how much notifications distract you. You could be actually getting into a focused state or, trying to do something, and then all of a sudden, ding, all of your focus is gone. All of your focus is now directed into your phone, not what you were just doing, into your phone. It saps your energy. It sucks it all up. It sucks it all up. And so you need to silence your phone. That's the biggest thing that I've learned is that if my phone's silent, I barely think about it. If I have my phone on airplane mode, even better. They don't even pop up. Like honestly, that sounds extreme, but what would you give up in order to not procrastinate? And that's a personal question to you. I can't answer that for you. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to forego to not procrastinate? This goes to apps as well. Do you have TikTok installed in your phone? Do you have Instagram? Do you have Snapchat? And I'm not telling you to delete them, but just what are you willing to give up? And if you're not willing to give up those things, by the way, you can make a folder in your phone, like with the apps, just to make it so that doesn't pop up to you as much. That's what I personally did with the apps that are base installed into your phone that you genuinely can't delete. I put it all into a apps folder that I call trash, even though you can't delete them. I just call it trash. And so I don't really see them. Like, for example, I put Snapchat in there and like Discord and stuff. So I don't even think about those things. I can always open them when I need to, but I've realized that I really don't need to open them as much as I used to. Really, the biggest question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to not procrastinate? What are you willing to sacrifice? Whether it be that poster in your room that always reminds you of video games, or your phone always being on your desk, or the notifications on your phone. What you're willing to sacrifice determines how much you procrastinate.